Okay, Nithyananda Maharaj.
Nithyanandam.
Okay, I'm Maprabha. I am here to ask you, share with you a few things, if you can open up and share with us. Recently, we heard a lot about antisocial element towards Swamiji and the ashram here. So first, could you please introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, my name is Sri Nithyananda, and as of now, I am responsible for North India activities and events.
How long you been in the ashram?
I've been in the ashram for a little over 1.5 years.
So here, my time here, I would like you to share with us a little bit about the scandal time that it was very famous. I'm from Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
We heard a lot about it in the media, television and internet and newspaper. Can you please tell a little bit about that?
I can tell you, having lived throughout the scandal period in the ashram, I stayed in the ashram for the whole period, and I was one of the few people who lived with Swamiji in the Himachal and North India also. So I've seen Swamiji from close quarters. I've shared living with him. So I can tell you, Swamiji is one rare gift to planet Earth. If we miss him for any of these simple reasons or some silly things which media are talking about, it's our misfortune. It's our loss. He's such a rare gift which hardly happens on planet Earth. We should make full use of his time till he's here. I can tell you, he just expresses bliss. His lifestyle itself, if you just see it, if you read what media is reporting and then you come and see him, you'll be shocked. It's like two completely different things. How many of media people have seen Swamiji? Come on, tell me this. How many of these people who have reported things have actually come and seen Swamiji? Not one. They're all just talking from hearsay. Somebody is saying something, media is sitting in Delhi and Bombay and other headquarters, and they're just picking up these stories, putting more and more and just adding masala and putting it in newspapers and TV channels. These media people don't even know there's somebody called Swami Nithyananda who is 33-year-old. He's a young man and who's living in this ashram. They haven't seen this ashram. So that's how these stories are just building up. This is complete nonsense. It's absurd. It's really, really painful to see how Indian people are just misled so easily. It's really a shame. It's a painful thing to see. Because what I have my personal experience. We invited some of the media channels when Swamiji started Panchatapas. We invited some of them. And when they came to the ashram, they were really shocked. They were surprised to see it's such a beautiful place to live. It's such a beautiful temple. Swamiji is such a authentic yogi. He's sitting right in front of them doing Panchatapas without moving. They were just shocked. So those are the things which half the people don't even know. So we as Indians have a responsibility. We are the inheritors of this great and ancient rich Vedic culture. We have to protect it. If we don't protect it, who else would? We cannot rely on media to do that job. So we have to be very cautious what media is feeding us with. We have to use our own senses. We have to have our own experience. Okay, media is saying something. Let me go and find out the truth for myself. Let me look at the website. Let me go and do a program. Let me listen to a YouTube discourse. And then the truth will be right in front of you. Because you can make out what is more genuine. Your experience, what you hear from Swamiji, or what media is telling you. So that's what we should do. I think that's the minimum responsibility which we have as Indians. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj. I want to bring it to your attention. Living in a foreign country, we were kind of hit more with the issue. Swami was having some intimate relationship with the Ashramites here, with the male and female. And that's why media did this coverage, and Swami had to run away from the ashram. How would you comment about that?
This is completely a story. I have lived personally in the ashram for over 1.5 years. No such thing has ever happened here. I can tell you, I've lived in this place. I've talked to people, these people whom media is quoting their names and all. I've talked to these people. It's all baseless. Media is just picking up stories from here and there, building up and making more and more news items. It's just yellow journalism to its worst. Nothing like this happens in this ashram. This ashram is an authentic Vedic monastery where pure and spiritual truths are practiced and taught. This is a place where people and seekers come from all over the world and get benefited. So this is a very authentic place. Whatever media is talking is completely baseless.
So Maharaj, I also came to know that you happen to be one of the person got arrested. Is that true? And can you tell a little bit more about that?
Yeah, because of the media pressure and everything, there was a real threat to Swamiji's life. And we as disciples don't want anything to happen to our master. So on our suggestion, we almost forced Swamiji, because of this media pressure and because of these anti-social elements, it's not safe to be in the ashram, so we have to find some other place. Swamiji doesn't want to move outside, but because of us, because of disciples' concerns, he consented and we went to Himalayas and Haridwar. Swamiji was on a Kumbh Mela spiritual trip, which is a duty of every enlightened master. After that, we spent a little time in the Himalayas and we were staying peacefully practicing our spiritual disciplines in a place near Shimla in Himachal Pradesh. So it was a beautiful experience. Like, staying with the master is always the best thing which can happen to you. And I can tell you, if whatever media says is true, a master, somebody who is leading that kind of life, cannot be so blissful and so peaceful in Himalayas all alone to himself. I lived with him for over a month. I saw him personally from close quarters. He was just always blissful. He was just radiating that compassion and that wealth of knowledge which he has. There was not one moment around him which was dull. He was always radiating joy and peace and compassion for anybody. So whoever comes in front of him, he just receives that grace and that compassion. So that was the most blissful period of my life, I can say, because living with the master in such close quarters, that was a blessing for me.
Thank you. Maharaj, tell me a little bit more about Kumbh Mela. Did you guys really go to Kumbh Mela, or were you, I mean, it is such a big public place. How can you not be noticed?
Now this is just amazing. We didn't just go to Kumbh Mela. Swamiji gave interviews there. It's on record. Couple of news channels, Times Now, which is one of the biggest channels in India, it came and interviewed Swamiji, and on record it went live. The reporter is reporting, I am calling from Haridwar, Swamiji is sitting with me. It was on TV. It was everywhere. People saw it. Thousands of people saw that interview. And I don't know how still media is saying that Swamiji never went to Kumbh Mela. That's just surprising. On the one hand, one of the top media channels, Times Now, is coming to Haridwar, interviewing Swamiji, and other channels are saying Swamiji never went to Kumbh Mela. I don't know what heads and tails to make out of this. The top media channel is reporting something right from Haridwar. That has to be true. We did go to Kumbh Mela. Swamiji spent time. It's one of these responsibilities which every spiritual master has, and which Swamiji fulfilled.
Maharaj, when you were with Swamiji, supposedly to be safe, how was your routine? What were the challenging moments, you think, because of the society's action?
I can tell you, it's very painful to see how people have reacted, because Swamiji's life has been a mission of seva. Whatever he brought, he's just giving and giving. I have seen him from close quarters, 20-21 hours every day. He's just working tirelessly. If you just look at his schedule, he doesn't even have time to sit for his meals quietly. He's running from one sabha to other sabha. He is talking to people. He is giving discourses. He is giving interviews. He is blessing people. He is giving Kaltaru darshans, and in between he is having his meals. So that's a kind of devotion and service which Swamiji is doing to people. Swamiji is just giving all his time for people. And after that, we Indians, we treat him like this. We don't believe what seva, what service he has done. We just go on the word of some stupid yellow journalist. We just believe some media with some TV channels who are showing something which they don't even know, which they themselves have picked up from somebody else. So this is just astonishing. Now we as people have some responsibility. This is our culture, our tradition. A great master has come once again. He's doing immense service. He's resurrecting the entire culture, the entire Vedic culture once again for the benefit of entire humanity. We should be his pillars. We should be part of his mission, not stand against him and try to destroy him. So this is our thing. We have to sit back and understand, look, this is what I see, this is what is my experience, and this is what media is doing. What can I do? At least I can put my hand up and say that I stand for Vedic culture. I stand for India. I stand for the Bharat of rishis. And here is a great rishi again, who is just bringing everything back to life. So let me help his mission. Let me be a part of him. So let's be a part of the Vedic culture and help Swamiji. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj. I want to ask something a little more personal now. Tell me, how was your family when, at this time, being in the ashram and around this Swamiji, where they call it like Swamiji and so on? How was your family reacting to you?
I've been very fortunate. My family has been very supportive because they have seen me from close quarters. They have known me that I always stand for something which I believe in, and if I am doing something, it is good. And I'm fortunate that my mother, my father, both have come and have seen Swamiji in person. So if you see Swamiji in person, you just cannot have any doubts, because you know for sure that he is authentic. Everything around him, radiates so much bliss and so much spiritual power, there can be no doubt in your mind. So I request all the people to, before forming their opinions, at least come and see something on your own. At least watch a discourse of Swamiji. At least come to the ashram, do a small program. If that is not possible, view something on the website or on YouTube. Then you will have your opinion on a more solid and grounded basis. That's what happened with my family. Before they knew Swamiji, they also had these opinions. Okay, there are so many masters, there are so many gurus, so many things happen in the media. But once they came and met Swamiji, they told me, yes, he is one master we believe in. He is completely 100% authentic. So I've been very fortunate. They have stood by me. That's why I'm still here, because they support me. In fact, at this Guru Purnima, my family members came, they took Swamiji's blessing, and my parents might again come for the next Inner Awakening program.
Maharaj, can you please explain a little bit on the a little more? I heard so many things happen in the ashram, especially the sannyasis and people who lived around him because they were upset with Swamiji. So the people around him had to go through some challenges. Since you were in a very close circle of him time, what are the challenges that kind of you had to go through?
See, when people come to ashram, we forget that these are all normal people, like who are coming from outside world into the ashram. So it's not something we can expect immediately to start behaving like enlightened masters or rishis. So what happens is, like, a lot of people, when they come inside the ashram, they still have their ambitions, they have their things, the work is still going on them. So master is working on them, but it's part of the process. It takes some time. Now in between the process, if somebody decides, okay, I have to do this, or some power struggle takes place in his mind, or he has some other ambitions, then automatically he might fall out. The sadhana is something which has to be continuously practiced. If you just get away from your sadhana or your spiritual disciplines, these are the dangers which are always there. As long as you have, Swamiji says, as long as you have mind, there is always a risk, there is always a danger. So that's what happens with normal human beings. When you come inside the ashram, you still carry those engrams, those memories. You are working outside, in the outside world. So all those things still are working in you. So you have to practice your sadhana and just become perfect and realize yourself. Till that time, there is always a danger that you can fall bound. So that is what happened with a lot of these people. These people might have come for different motives. Some people came just because Swamiji was becoming a huge brand name. There was a lot of glamour around him. So some people came for different reasons. Now because of that, when they saw that, oh, there is some insecurity, the things which they came for is not happening anymore. So then they decided, okay, maybe this is not the right place for me. Maybe I should go out. And that's when some people gradually, slowly moved out for different reasons. So that is what has happened. It's up to us. It's actually a personal choice. How much authenticity you have, what you think is the real goal for which you have come to ashram, and how much you want to work on yourself. If you practice your sadhana with diligence and with sincerity, this will not happen to you. That's my belief.
Maharaj, I'm going to go back again to the north. Can you give us a little visualization picture the time that you have to travel? How come you ended up there in the north when Swami was not in the ashram, he was in seclusion or hidden? How come you were the one who picked to be there with him? And give us some visual, some story, because we have no clue what happened there, you know? If you open up and share, that would be great.
Yeah, it was a very interesting time, I can say. Like, spending time with the master is the greatest blessing which can happen. And like, spending so much time in close quarters with the master, it's definitely a gift worth several lifetimes. I definitely treasure that 1 month as the best period of my life, in fact several lifetimes. So it was very nice, like having Swamiji just close to you all the time, and it was you always had a little feeling of awe, respect and devotion, everything mixed together, because you don't know what to expect. When you are with the master, everything is so spontaneous. There's no fixed discipline or fixed routine that you have to get up at this time, you have to do this. It's very spontaneous. So sometimes he would just call us and he will start talking on some deep spiritual subject, or sometimes we'll be asking him several questions that Swamiji, tell us about this or this, and he'll just answer those as if it's like just a child's play. He'll always be ready to answer any spiritual questions. What I've seen is, what is very interesting is, he never needs to prepare for anything. He was giving discourses from Himachal as well. He was recording discourses, but I never saw him preparing even for a minute. He'll just ask, okay, what do you want me to speak on today? We'll just say, Swamiji, we think you should speak on this. And he'll just say, okay, I'm speaking, start recording. And that's what it is. He's so spontaneous, he's so much in the moment, and he's such a wealth of treasure. He's such a powerhouse, storehouse of Vedic knowledge and culture. It's just unbelievable just sitting in front of him. Sometimes our jaws will just drop, we'll just be staring at him. And you say, okay guys, come on, relax. And that was just amazing. So that was really, really fun moments, like sharing a lot of time with Swamiji, getting time, getting opportunity, getting blessing, getting the privilege to do personal seva to Swamiji. That's an opportunity of a lifetime. So it was really a wonderful time which we spent here.
So Maharaj, at that time, were you all live in one room or like a house, you know? So you the way you're telling, it's just like you still had to live like an ashram living, you know? How was that?
One of the people who came to know Swamiji during this trip, he became a devotee as soon as he saw Swamiji. So you can imagine, during this time, a person who sees Swamiji for the first time, he became a devotee immediately. And it was he who offered this place, and he said, "This Swamiji, this is your ashram. I have treated this place as your ashram now." So that is the place where we are staying. This is a house, and we had a room. Swamiji had a separate room. We used to spend time with him there, and we had the opportunity to see the master from close quarters, do seva to him, listen to his discourses, talk to him, have evening walks with him. So it was a beautiful, beautiful time.
Oh, so you mentioned evening walks. So you were not really hiding. Were you not fear that media is going to?
Not at all. That is something which just surprises me, because Swamiji was always in his full kavi clothes. Whenever we would go out, Swamiji will just go out in kavi clothes, and if people see him, he'll be blessing those people on the road also. So we were never the idea of absconding is just new to me. I don't know. We were going to all the places where we needed to go. There were daily things to be done. We were carrying out our publications work from there. I was going to places like to get books and send recordings and all those things. Swamiji was still giving discourses. People were recording the discourses, sending it to ashram. It was all over on YouTube. So there was the idea of absconding was never there. We were just there because media, and there was serious threat to Swamiji's life and ashram. There were antisocial elements who burned some of the huts in ashram, if you know. There were serious attempts made on Swamiji's life. So we just wanted to protect Swamiji, and media was just mad. There was so much media frenzy, they could have done anything. They broke open ashram's gates and entered once. So because of all these reasons, we just wanted to be away for a little while. That's why we were there. There was nothing like absconding. There's nothing illegal which ever happened. So why would we abscond? We were just leading our lives, normal lives, blissfully. Swamiji was having walks. Swamiji was always in his kavi clothes. It was a normal routine life for us. So many people knew us. So many people came for Swamiji's darshan and blessings, even in Himalayas. So it was very normal life for us.
Well, in the West, what we came to know was Swami and Bhaktananda Swami were arrested. Were you arrested too?
Technically, there were 3 people along with Swamiji. So they had some charge sheet which mentioned a few names on hearsay.
So did they literally arrest you, put you in a truck and then brought you down, or how was that?
It was not as if like they were handcuffing or anything, but they did take us in their official jeeps to their headquarters, and we spent a night in their headquarters, and then we came down to Bangalore.
So anything else you would like to share, final words, this whole incident in your life?
Yeah, the whole incident has taught us a lot of things. It's like it has shown that what real intensity can do. If you really stand on firm grounds, if you believe in your sadhana and your master, nothing can shake you. Because from your own authentic experience, you know what is the right thing, what is the truth. So nothing can shake you. But if you are not practicing sadhana, if you are not spiritual, if you are in the ashram or close to the master for different reasons, for wrong reasons, then anything can shake you. So that is one lesson. Another thing which really pains me is how we Indians treat our own masters. We act against our own gurus and masters who are trying to protect the age-old Vedic dharma, the Vedic culture. We should in fact be acting as the pillars. We should help the Vedic masters. How many Indians do even respect the Vedic culture now? If you ask anybody, they will like to go to US and they will like to follow Hollywood lifestyle, and they said, how many people even know the simple things like Gayatri Mantra? The Vedic culture is so rich. Now today's science is accepting these facts, that whatever mantras or whatever knowledge is there in Vedic scriptures, it's so scientific. The latest theories like the particle physics theories, Einstein's theories of relativity. All these are proving that they are in sync with Vedic culture completely. So this is the level of physics, this is the level of science which our ancient rishis achieved, and that is what our new masters like Swamiji are trying to bring back to life. So we as Indians, we should stand up with him. We should see what is the truth and we should support it. We have the power, we have the responsibility to protect our culture. And now it's time, it's high time, we should execute it. We should stand by our masters and we should make our country, we should make our Bharat live again. Thank you.
Maharaj, quick question. I thought I want to end it, but since I just want to speak from our end, you say, how could we be so straight away with the media? But I have to tell, from being so thousands miles away, of course, some of us were not shaken at all. We know our experience with Swamiji was different. But at the same time, having the mind and senses, and not everybody had the opportunity like you to spend close time with Swamiji. We have a lot of devotees. What we saw on the internet seems so real, you know. So we're like, the threat was there. We have children. Our girls come here to stay, to grow. And this is happening and we are seeing it in visual. It's so real. That is why this whole thing happened. It's not like we want to drop Swamiji. So what do you comment about that?
I would just want to ask you a question, simple question. How many of you have seen the movie Avatar? How many have seen movies like Jurassic Park? In today's world of animations and video and media, everything is possible. It's so easy. It's not difficult at all. If you answer me this one question, if it was really something authentic, if it was done by one person, how did we have 15,000 YouTube clips being uploaded at the same time? How can 15,000 YouTube clips get uploaded at the same time? These things are just not possible. There's a huge conspiracy behind this. There have to be a lot of people, a lot of money was spent, a lot of people spent a lot of time to get this morphed, manipulated and whatever. There's media technology available. These things are very much possible. Second thing, it comes back again to your personal experience. What you have seen Swamiji as, what you have received from Swamiji. If you have been touched by Swamiji, that experience can never go away, If you have attended Inner Awakening or if you have attended some of the programs with Swamiji, that experience will stay with you. It will just become a part of you. So just ask that experience, just ask within yourself, ask that question, what have I gained from Swamiji? If the answer is yes, I have gained a lot, then you won't be swayed. If you haven't gained anything or if you don't ask that question, only then these things can move you. But if you have really gained something, if you have achieved something and you ask that question sincerely, this cannot shake you. Nothing can shake you because it's part of you. It's your personal experience. So ultimately what counts is the personal experience. If you have a personal experience which is solid, which is authentic, nothing in the world can move you. Thank you.
Maharaj, just to let you know, in Los Angeles Vedic Temple, it's it's an headquarters for our Dhyanapeetham in the West. What happened was, when the scandal video was out, nobody was really shaken at that time. I mean, people we kind of know, okay. But I came to know that one close devotee, supposedly many people view him as a very close devotee of Swamiji, Ananda Samaji, very high reputation in his social status, and a lot of so-called Ashramites that's been around Swamiji so long, so many years, they themselves turned around and say, this is something you want to think about. It's true. So where do you expect the public to be? How do you expect the public who didn't have that chances to be around him? They only see and read it once a while and then see the strong people around. We are doing seva with them. When these people's ground are shaken and they themselves are vocalizing, then the whole complete kind of breakdown happens. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I can understand. This is a problem because once you see Ashramites, you expect something much more from them. But ultimately we have to realize one thing is that even Ashramites are devotees. They are devotees who got very connected and who are living inside the ashram, that's all. They haven't achieved that kind of a realization or that state still. They are still devotees. So this is between devotees and devotees. Some devotees who are staying inside the ashram, some devotees who are staying outside the ashram. So ultimately, I'll say again, I'll point this thing again, it comes back to your own experience. Instead of asking somebody else for his opinion or seeing what other person is doing, just ask yourself, what has happened to you? What has Swamiji given to you? What is the contribution which Swamiji has made to your life? If you ask this question to yourself, you will see there is a qualitative as well as quantitative difference in your life. That is the best testimony, that is the best proof. Don't even look at other people, what somebody else is doing. He might be an ashramite, he might be a devotee, he might be a so-called close devotee. There are all sorts of people, you never know what is working with them. So just ask this question to yourself. That is the best testimony. If you have gained qualitatively as well as quantitatively, you will have authentic substance and authentic proof to stand. That is the best thing.
Maharaj, I can't help it. I have to ask a few more questions. So I happened to have a chance to talk to some close devotees and the former administrator of the ashram. There were questions telling, Swami always have young girls serving him and there's so much tight security. Why is that necessary?
Swamiji is everybody serving him. Like, it's not just young girls, so it depends on people who want to see something different. There are people all over the world who come and serve Swamiji. I have been serving Swamiji. There are other young boys, old men, everybody, old ladies, everybody serves Swamiji. Now, if you just look at one specific section, okay, Swamiji has young girls also serving. So what is wrong? Why do you want to exclude just one section from Swamiji's service? We are all devotees. You cannot exclude just one section because media might think, oh, how can young girls serve Swamiji? So this is actually unfair. If somebody does that, actually that is against spirituality. If Swamiji is allowing each and every person, every individual to come and serve him, that shows that he is not even bothered about anything else. He is genuine. He understands everybody's devotion. He gives place for everybody's devotion. Anybody and everybody is free to come and serve him.
So Maharaj, I really want to thank you for taking the time to share with us this moment, your experience and your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to talk about Swamiji. Thank you, Nithyananda.